Well, dear friends, what do we do now? This is Stan, and it is quite a day. Usually on this Sunday afternoon, I'm talking about how we are getting ready on our Sunday night meeting for Monday Meets the Marketplace. That's a term I use quite often. Monday meets the marketplace. Only on this coming Monday, there is no marketplace. Everything's shut down. Everything's gone. Hopefully, a few of those vital companies will be allowed to continue to do their work because we have to put a little bit of gasoline in the car. We certainly have to eat, buy that proverbial toilet paper, and a few other things that are vital to survival. But what do we do? I've had to spend a bit of time sometimes talking to old clients who had long since been on their way. They had been successful and they didn't need me anymore, but now they're calling back again, and I simply have had to go through some of the situations that I have read and become aware of, and I simply have to say this is for the next 3 to 6 months, a number of businesses, there is no marketplace. They're out of business. They will be out of business. Investment capital will be drying up. Of course, people are not going to be spending money for good times like we hope they would in many, many cases. So you know the story. You know the story as well as I do, is obviously in many cases, people are going to lose their jobs, lose their careers, and they're going to lose their businesses. We're out of business for many of us for the next 3 to 6 months and maybe longer. One of a group of gentlemen have put together, and it's not to be that it was just gentlemen, it just they were 2 or 3 men friends from their past times got together, and they put together an idea which said something like this. This is a blizzard. And they use the old analogy of the old-fashioned blizzard. And I remember when I was a young boy growing up in North Dakota that sometimes if you would go out to a farm place, there would actually be what they called the blizzard line. And what it was a rope of some kind between the barn and the homestead, because literally a blizzard can come up so fast while the men or the hands were in the barn, and they wouldn't be able to find their way back to the house. And so they would grab onto the rope and be able to try and find their way back through the blizzard line. We're in a blizzard. But it will pass. All blizzards pass. But then we could be in for the winter, and we could be in for what they call a little ice age. None of those metaphors are very attractive, of course. And all of us were looking for 2020 to be the year. This was going to be it. This was, hey, and I'm one who talked that way and believed that way and wanted that way, and I was making plans to make that happen. And now this has happened. So what do we do now? Well, a couple things. First of all, we just pray. And these are not what I call pop-up prayers, paste-on prayers. You know, whatever we want, whatever we're seeking, we kind of paste on a prayer. These are primal prayers in which we have to go to the very root of our being and be in touch with the very heart, mind, and spirit of God. We may spend a lot of time just listening to what He has to say and how Jesus wants to lead. I'll be doing a program very shortly simply on my own reflections. What would Jesus do? You know, if He were around right now, what would He do? And what would His followers do? What should we do? So, it is a time for prayer. It is also a time for Christian courage. I did a line on a different program called Cowboy Courage, and in many ways they'll go together. Christian courage and cowboy courage. And what I'm going to simply try to do is see if I, along with you, and I'll be calling on you to be on our radio program, is how do we do work? That's vital. How do we do life? How do we do business? And most importantly, How do we worship in the time of the crisis? So I'd appreciate hearing from you. I'd appreciate being in touch. Maybe perhaps we were made for these times, and now we have to live them out. And so thoughts, prayers, and blessings be with you, your family, your children, your grandchildren. Be with all of us, everyone. Lord, give us wisdom, give us courage, give us kindness. We want to be men and women who understand the times as best as we can, and by your good creative power, know what to do. We'll be in touch throughout the week. See you next week. Bye for now.